Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Aegis Defenders League. Today, we're going to have a fantastic match between Virtue Gaming Unity and Team Ambition Exodia. I'm your caster, Narka. I'm going to be doing the play-by-play for you today, and I'm here with Let's AMP.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, or good evening, it's like 8 p.m. for most of y'all. I'm sitting here at 2 a.m. how things are, and we're already in pick and ban. We are going to have a very, very nice game. I already took a little bit of a peek-see at what does Team Ambition bring to the table, what does Virtual Gaming bring to the table. So far, most of the bans are quite standard. Top lane, Camille bans, both of our friends in the top lane, Luna as well as Terry, both played a lot of Camille in solo queue. Zohar also, okay, big fan of Rek'Sai, of the Queen Mom herself. And so far, one champion I'm seeing being left open, yes, Soraka, is Lee Sin. I've been looking a little bit around. Our jungler friends also love themselves to play a little bit of that Lee Sin, and we're having a Gwen first pick. I don't know, Gwen didn't get buffed as far as I remember, except for a little bit of HP 2 patches ago. I'm not that sure. But we're also getting a good early game aggression to the table. Gwen, good skirmisher, can push in the wave if the opponent allows it. I mean, obvious comment is obvious. But Xin Zhao, early strong ganker. Mid lane is going to have a fun time if they don't have a dash. So, what is your... Before we get into strategy and everything, what are you wanting to see? Is there a champion you want to see being put on the table? Are you having a secret little fan of yours where you're yeah, seeing that would actually make me very much happy?
Well, I'm constantly rooting for the picks of Rel and Talia. I personally play them both support, but obviously Talia is much more played in the jungle, although we haven't really been seeing it in pro play or higher level competitive play recently. I still think that there is a chance that there's a hole open maybe for some bit of AP, and Talia could fulfill that role. But so far, I'm really liking this pick as Team Ambition locks into Samira, probably going to be going to the bot lane on that side, and it looks like Virtue Gaming is going to match that with the Tristana.
Yes, actually, so... On the side of VGU at the moment, very strong early game aggression. And speaking of early game aggression, the queen herself of tower diving at level 2, Leona, pairing very well with the Dirty Fighting was Action's passive. Daredevil was Samira's passive. And the Janna, that's actually something I wanted to mention, but I forgot, to be honest. Janna top, as a top laner who hates everything that is of meta, this just makes me cry. Of course, there is the option of the Janna going into the bot lane. I highly doubt it. For anybody in chat who doesn't know exactly what I'm talking about, over the last 1 week, top lane became not even an island anymore. It became abandoned. Champions were very good at roaming, Bard, Janna, and other types of supports who can support the team in just being present, have become very, very, very popular in any elo, even in lower ones where they're not that effective, but well, just existing helps them. And Janna is currently being played as the queen of just abandoning top lane, helping everybody else. And this just throws a wrench into Team Ambition's craft because they don't know where she is going. My assumption is, as I said, now for the top lane, and VGU can just make very good use of it, because if they pick the mid laner here and leave their support / top laner open for last pick, they definitely are going to win the psychological warfare that is going on right here. I'm not hoping for her going top lane. I am still assuming she is, and she is. We have an Alistar, ladies and gentlemen. Things are getting nasty.
Yep, Smite Janna top coming in here is going to be really interesting to see how they deal with the Gwen, given the fact that Gwen has been known as a pretty strong split pusher for a while now, and a lot of people have been teasing the idea of a split pusher as the correct response to a roaming top laner. What do you think we're going to be seeing in the last few picks for Team Ambition, maybe to counter this strategy?
To be completely honest, you have two options. You actually only have one option to like get rid of the power that is support top lanes. And as stupid as it sounds, and that's basically something you would hear when you're like 0-7 and still fighting your opponent, just don't fight. The power of Janna is the power of utility she's bringing to the table. She basically only needs like 3-4 levels if she's unlucky, and afterwards she's just going to never go back to top lane. If Gwen takes the first tower, yeah, that's nice. And if she takes second tower, that's nice as well. In contrast to that, Janna is getting her entire team ahead, and as soon as the top 2 outer tower fall, there's basically nothing to do anymore in top lane, because afterwards you're just going to overextend. We're also playing like not in low elo, we're playing in Diamond Masters elo, or having a Diamond Master elo game here, allowing them to like also punish overextension, which if you're going to push past tier 2 towers is going to happen. You're going to maybe get some wards down in the topside jungle, but Janna doesn't really care about this. In the meantime, the rest of the draft has been finished. We're seeing Lissandra versus Ziggs and an Olaf jungle, so there is some counter aggression coming in for the junglers. So it's basically just going to be around who of the junglers is able to make the first strike, no pun intended. And as I see it now with Janna and how I've seen like her, let's just say her way of play, it's not going to look too fine for Olaf. If he's good and is able to like proactively get something done in bot lane before Janna is able to leave, it is going to build up a lot of pressure in the bot lane. But Tristana, together with a hard engage like Alistar, the game is going to get, for me personally, I think the game is getting decided as soon as level 2/level 3 is getting hit in bot lane.
Yeah, that bot lane is definitely going to be a big area of focus in this early game. Xin Zhao also just a jungler that has been notorious for their ability to go in at level 2. As we look at kind of this mid lane matchup, I really haven't been seeing too much of the Ziggs there in that mid lane. Oftentimes I've been seeing them played kind of bot more with the support. Can you run us through a little bit what that matchup might look like?
Push and shove. Push and shove. Ziggs has, in the early game, like the first 3 levels, he definitely has the push advantage due to his passive as well as his Q and W. Lissandra, how should I best explain this? Ziggs wants opponents to come to him. If you allow him to just to push, he's able to roam, which is not that much of a problem pre-level 6, but if he gets his nuke at level 6, he can just make it used as a tool in the bot lane. Also, speaking of bot lane, Ziggs is going bot lane, so we have a Tristana mid lane. Okay, things are getting very interesting. So there is going to be a lot of problems in the bot lane. Ziggs, even with level 2, might not have that much damage. If Samira and Leona can push for level 2, Ziggs can be in a little bit of a pickle, and I'm kind of thrown off by this now. So it actually is going to come down for me personal for execution. But if Tristana is able to shove in the lane and make some things happen with Xin Zhao and find Olaf just running around in his jungle, things might actually turn out interesting. I'm looking forward to this game. It actually depends for me personally who's getting shove first. If Lissandra is able to contest Tristana's push, she isn't. She might be able to keep the early game bleeding under control. But we're going to have to wait until the game actually is going to go ahead. So as of now, I think VGU have the stronger early game, but TA have the better scaling with Samira and Lissandra. Who do you think is going to take away this first game before we go into a short break?
I really actually enjoy both drafts coming through here. I think that it's really going to come down to how effective is Janna roaming. Are they going to be able to extract enough value throughout the rest of the map versus what Gwen's going to be getting on in that top lane? And so for right now, I'm going to say I have faith in this strategy. I really love what we've been seeing. There's been a ton of innovation up there in that top side of the map, even if it means abandoning a whole lane in order to do so. So I'm going to say I think Virtue Gaming have this one.
All right, well, let's see how things are going to roll out. I think it's going to come down to the early game, but I'm just a caster. I'm known for having a caster curse. But after this break and the spectacular spectator delay, we're just going to see how things are going to turn out. But until then, everybody stay hydrated, stay safe, and we will be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. This is going to be round one, game one between Team Ambition Exodia and Virtue Gaming Unity. We are looking here on the red side of the map with the start of Virtue Gaming. It looks like they're all bunching up here at the bot side, probably going for some sort of invader cheese. What do you think is happening right here? Let's say MP.
Well, I'm actually not quite sure, but I am pretty sure they're going to try what the Janna is known for, but
yeah, the tornado gonna get the flash right out of Sheeple here. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure if they wanted to take it, but what I want to take on is what we are having in terms of items and everything else. So, Janna top smite with a control ward and everything. What do we have? We have Samira with first strike. We have Leona with glacial augment, and we have a Ziggs with first strike as well. I'm not that familiar with Ziggs and Samira having first strike, because as far as I know, okay, maybe Ziggs, yes, because his Q does like the bulk of his damage, but Samira like has a little bit of more extended damage. She like wants to stay in the fights longer. If she's able to make use of it, okay, I can understand it, but if she just gets poked once, it doesn't really matter. Also, quality. He does know how dangerous Lissandra EW can be. Took himself some cleanse, taking away some pressure from the pressure he's able to have if he would take TP, which is in like the pro play scene more of something we're seeing more often. And in mid lane, things are getting off to a good start for quality player. Early jump in also allows him to like get the push advantage. Olaf so far not going to have a good time because the entire bot side, yes, the entire bot side is warded. It gets warded even more. So everybody in China knows you are doing your red at the moment, Olaf. But so far, Terry not being able to use the smite to his advantage, and not able to use the support item as well. Support item getting nerfed next patch, which actually makes me very sad. I call everybody who plays like support top lane psychopaths, but I sometimes love myself to play Ivan top lane if I really have to. And in such cases, I love myself to like buy myself a support item later on. But things are getting off in the bot lane.
Yeah, there we go. Itchy Rat gonna have to get right back out of there. TA Buddha trying to gank, was sitting in the wings there for a while. There's going to be a Leona Lee landing right there, and it looks like First Blood's going to be going over to the side of Team Ambition Exodia right there. Meanwhile, on the top side of the map, Zohair and Wild Terror are going to be rushing down TA Luna right now. TA Luna going to have to walk back towards tower. Janna with that level 4 now, able to help that gank out quite effectively. Zohair securing the kill right there.
All right, so Terry already being a menace and getting the ghost as well as the TP out of Lona, and the Janna is enabled, already using the smite to get her jungler ahead. I mean, as ahead as it is able to. They know that Olaf is in the bot side, so they are going to invade him. And here comes everybody and the cavalry.
Yeah, Wild Terry already roaming right now. Quality player trying to rush down TA Buddha. Gonna have to stay there at the tower for a little bit. TA Light coming around in the area. And now we're meeting up with the bot lane on the side of TA. And look at that. Zohair going to get another kill, taking down the Leona on the side of Team Ambition. And the fight's just going to continue here. Zohair gonna help Quality player take down TA Buddha, but there is going to be a kill right back there. Lissandra getting a kill and shutting down that early game jungler from the side of Virtue Gaming Unity.
Well, we are in 4 minutes, and we have a 1-0 in 3 Janna with red buff. If anybody in chat is still like, yeah, okay, what can a Janna really do? Be a menace, to keep it very simple. Early Swifty boots allowing her to be even more of a menace. Also a very good answer into Light, Buddha, as well as Luna. Luna's ultimate, as well as Buddha's axe, slowing people. I mean, first things first, good luck trying to catch or escape a Janna due to her passive. It is still not going to avail you. But so far, things are as I assumed them to be. There is going to be Luna left in top lane as well. If Luna is doing things as well effective as she can, she's going to take like topside both towers, which is about let's say roughly 2k gold. But the smite being enabled on Janna, as well as the early aggression that the Xin Zhao has now available, just allows them to get a 5-minute Drake. So we might see a 20-minute Soul. I don't think we will, because, well, why would, actually, good question. Why wouldn't we see a Soul? Because as we see now, Jan already putting a lot of pressure just by existing. Nobody knows where she is. So far, just a nightmare. But yeah, just by being close to her jungler, she knows already how things are. And I have a feeling Luna is not going to have a good time. Oh,
yeah, that knock up over the wall there isn't going to allow for Zohair to connect and continue that fight, but that's already showing the presence of two people in the jungle just being so valuable for the side of Virtue Gaming. And now look at this quality player pushing back Light, and now we have the Janna in the area, always there to help set up dives, set up engages. It's just going to be a continual thorn in the side of Team Ambition Exodia going forward.
Yeah, especially if we take a small look at the minimap and bot side, there's still the control ward from the level 1 invade sitting around, as so they know that Olaf currently is not possessing his red buff, well, because it got taken off his hands by a very wild Terry. But Olaf is trying to get something done, trying to invade the blue side, quality player in the area, and I think he's smelling blood in the water. But nothing happening so far. TA Light still having the Frozen Tomb, a very good CC ability, but I have a feeling Light is not long for this world.
Yeah, Light gonna have to get right back out of there again. A wild Harry Zohair in the area. Quality player gonna get a large amount of priority over that lane and a bit of roaming power. Now we have Buddha and B9 stacks in the area. Buddha being run down. Zohair gonna flash right in there. Buddha at about half health, and here comes Ichiran on the other side. Headbutt Pulverize gonna be able to knock him up, and there you go. Zohair gonna get another kill down onto the map here, and they're gonna continue to snowball down into that bot side of the map.
So do you enjoy playing jungle? I enjoy the possibility of playing League of Legends. Well, Buddha is going to have to use everything that his namesake is giving him, because, well, he's going to need a lot of patience. And Zohair might have overstepped a little bit. No, he has not. He is going in because Terry has his back. Ichiran is coming in, and there comes a nuke from a Ziggs.
Yeah, Light into Frozen Tomb right there. B9 stacks now caught right in the thick of it. 5-manning already so early on in the game. You love to see the teamwork that comes from playing that Janna Smite top lane. Quality player having to go pretty deep right there, getting ignited, barely managing to get out alive. That tower shot really almost sealing their fate.
Quality really limit testing. That cleanse really saved his life. If we could get like a direct comparison in terms of gold from our observers, I would be very much interested in seeing how the gold comparison is at this point in the game. Janna 1-0 in 6 has been 100% kill participation. I mean, duh, that's her entire shtick. But losing a lot of resources in exchange for the top lane. But I don't really think anybody cares on the side of VGU. They X. Thank you very much. 2-8. So 500 gold top lane difference. It is not that bad, as although I assumed it would be a bigger difference. Jungler, 900 gold advantage for the Xin Zhao. An early game Xin Zhao with an early game lead is a menace. I can talk from experience. So far, Team VGU down 1.2k, being kept on the back foot. Terry is having a good time, but I have a feeling they know things are going down.
Yeah, it looks like people were getting right fed up with Wild Terry there, and with this 3-stack from the side of Team Ambition, they're going to continue to push down into mid lane. Now with the Leona there, that's going to be another shutdown. 2 kills going over to Team Ambition Exodia, and this may be their move towards the Rift Herald, which is now spawned.
Okay, yeah, I like what they tried to do. Terry and Quality got a little bit cocky. Quality sacrificing Flash and Cleanse in the last exchange when he went a little bit deep, but with this, entire pressure from topside is gone, despite Terry already having recalled. and still running around the map. A very dangerous and very, very vicious level for Janna. Meanwhile, Luna in the top lane trying to get something done, but Zohair, knowing that he's not able to contest that Rift Hole, is being secured by Buddha. He will just take the resources in the top side. Meanwhile, Janna is going to go towards the Drake, setting up Sun Vision, hoping to get something done. But as far as we know it by now, a lot of things have been done. But Arch now going to nuke the tower due to Zig's saddle charge passive, allowing him to get even more pressure up. And with this, Drake should be secured for the side of BGU.
Yeah, Virtue Gaming definitely grouping up there on that bot side of the map. We might see a little bit of contestation as Austin Sheep is going to walk up with B9 stacks. But given the fact that you have 3 people in this bush right here, that double knockup alongside the Alistar strength is going to be enough to at least take down Buddha here. Meanwhile, Zohair is going to continue to push forward as a Wild Terry has to go golden, definitely still down several levels, not yet at ultimate, means that their team fighting ability may not be as strong as possible, but this is still probably going to be a Drake going over to the side of Virtue Gaming.
Oh boy, oh lord, I'm also wanting to point out that Wild Terry is running Glacial Augment. What a lot of people know is that it gets activated if you're like slowing or stunning somebody. But it's also important to put on that just by the slow, it also allows Terry to like reduce the damage the opponent is doing. I don't know how big the reduction is. I'm not that much of a number guy, but in a fight where 4 people are clumped up, it is helping indeed. And with top tower being down for the side of VGU, they're just going to rotate, put Arch and Itchy Red on the top side to make a little bit more, well, use of the fact that the next objective which is going to spawn will be that Rift Herald in the next 3 minutes. Yeah, 3 minutes about. And, well, in the bot lane, they're just going to let the tower fall. Terry is just going to...
Yeah, a little bit of a bait here. Awesome Sheep going to pop their ultimate as Zohair comes in, tries to shut down that Samira in the bot side. Meanwhile, we have a fight up here. Buddha running at Arch. Meanwhile, Ichirat totally caught out here. That's going to be 2 more kills for Team Ambition Exodia. Meanwhile, Zohair, quality player in a Wild Terry, moving as 3 up. Light is going to come in and get a good fast kill with the flash onto a Wild Terry here. TA definitely trying to get back into the driver's seat, but Zohair just so strong, able to trade the kill right back onto them. Meanwhile, we see the Rift Herald being dropped in the top side of the map.
Yeah, I am actually... Oh my god, the next fight is already breaking out.
Yeah, right there we get the Leona E into Glacial. Zohair immediately going to get shut down. Quality player also in the area, but look at that ultimate from Awesome Sheep, forcing the ultimate out of the Tristana. TA Luna trying to continue to pressure here, and with TA Buddha also in the area, it looks like people are going to just back off as you have a 3v3 that in low health bars all around.
Okay, I like what I'm actually seeing here. TA knows they are never going to win a straight up 5v5. They know they have to like think a bit outside of the box. Normally, you would use like Leona as a hard engage to just go absolutely ham. And I like how she is being played more of a catcher this game. She knows, okay, Terry is a roaming menace. We need to get rid of him, who also hit level 6 by now. Lowest level and on the Rift, but still having the most impact as of now, just helping jungler be very fast with the clears. So next objective is going to be the top lane. But if they are, if the side of TA is able to play continue playing this outside of the box style, and are able to catch out the members of TA one after another, they might actually have a chance to take a victory home. Because if we take a rough look, the real only tanky member on the side of VGU is the Alistar. I mean, of course, with how Xinjiao is being built like a bruiser, a sustain tank as of late, he could also be seen as a secondary tank. But if one of them gets caught out by 2 members, forget it. You are not going to get anything done. There is just too much on. There's just too much squishiness on the side of VGU. So for the time now, Buddha is still being bullied because everybody knows he loves to be bullied. Don't bully your enemy jungler. We don't endorse bullying, but
yeah,
B9
getting the E going in here, dropping the ultimate as well. Zohair in the front line. A Wild Terry gonna have to flash out right there, and look at that with the stun. B9 Stacks is gonna be able to take down a Wild Terry, and Light is also taking down Zohair. This is a disastrous engage. Virtue Gaming Unity gonna have to run away with all but the quality player falling, and look at that, a double kill coming through for Buddha. From Buddha, the bullied is now the bully itself, and now they're moving towards, from that ace, a large amount of priority on the map for Team Ambition.
Oh yeah, and also the amount of gold that is running inside the pockets of Team Ambition, they are really thinking outside the box. It's also what I was telling about when it came to like how squishy the side of VGU is. Like, they caught out the Alistar. And normally I would say, congratulations, you caught out an Alistar. But in this case, it's like, bollocks, they caught out the Alistar. We don't have a frontline anymore. Things are looking bad, to say the least. And they are just able to, like, run into the back line. I was actually admitting that I was, like, making a little bit of fun of my co-caster here and saying, like, oh, congratulations, you're going to dive the backline with an Olaf. I didn't expect it to go as well as it did. They got a 5 for nothing. They got a 0 for 5. Got an entire ace of his, got a reset, so they are like in the driver's seat now. Except for maybe a little bit of vision difference, things are looking up for the side of TA, but it's going to be very interesting in how they're going to play out this Drake fight.
Yeah, it looks like we're setting up a Hex Flash. B9 Stacks trying to hit something, but it looks like the engage is actually going to be coming from TA Light and Buddha right here. Zohair immediately going to go down. That's a double kill going over to the Lissandra, and now another huge wipe. Quality player, once again, the only person able to get out of that main fight. Nobody chasing them down this time, though, but this still means that a drag is going to be going over to the side of Team Ambition. We're beginning to see a snowball definitely form for Exodia.
Oh, okay. It seems like, yes, while the Janna top pick is definitely a very strong one, it seems like not everybody has yet to, like, make full use of it. Terry is, well, yeah, he is a roaming top Janna who is being a menace. He's still only level 6. He will never be able to, like, 1v1. I mean, that's, of course, not the goal of playing with the Janna top. Meanwhile, quality player nearly getting absolutely obliterated.
Yeah, G-Rat peeling out a little bit there. Nobody's going to go down, but definitely going to force the back out of the mid laner for Virtue Gaming.
Yeah, and Luna, despite the early lostness, like being lost, like, okay, what are we going to do? Actually able to, like, make use of the way Terry is behind of now, but he has finished his Shirley's battle song. Might actually make him a better catcher. And as I said before, good luck trying to run away from a Janna. Has a support item first part finished as well. Also able to set up vision now. So the question is, can TA push the advantage they have gathered? I mean, they are ahead for 6,000 gold, but since the one time where T1 was like behind 10k and just immediately wiped their opponents in the team fight, it's not over until it's over. So far, they're just going to have to put the resources into quality player, into the Janna. Into the Tristana, who is going to be the best peeler. Not peeler, like the best consistent damage source. I mean, also with the side of the Ziggs, he's also able to just clear waves, not allow anybody to come close. But if they're getting wiped again, especially now with 19 minutes 15 seconds in, if they get wiped the next time, that's Baron. 100%, and I have a feeling the side of TA knows this as well, so they're just going to be as aggressive as they possibly can be. But the Itchy Red knows blood is in the water, and he's getting ready to flash over the wall, I assume.
Yeah, blue trinket going to be popped right there. Going to reveal Itchy Rat for a brief moment, so they know that pushing through that mid lane may lead to an engage on the side of Virtue Gaming. So they're moving back up here into the top side. TA Light taking that blast cone over. B9 Stacks and Itchy Rat, though, in the area still. Light going to go on a rampage, immediately shutting down that Janna. Just too many levels down. Itchy Rat and Zohair now both deep into the thick of it. Very deep. And unfortunately, right there, that's going to be a double kill going over to the side of Team Ambition. A triple kill, in fact, as TA Luna going to chase down the last member favor of Virtue Gaming and lead to an early Baron on the side of Team Ambition Exodia.
I highly doubt this was the way that the side of VGU wanted it to go, but I have to admit, the early game pressure Terry put up was definitely advantageous, but with how far behind he has fallen in terms of levels, not gold, the most important resource for any support is EXP. But as I said before, at 19 minutes 15, the next time a fight goes wrong, this is going to be Baron, and, well, I wouldn't say I called it, but I called it. So far, we are nearly down, the side of Team Ambition up nearly 8k. No, up a little bit. Yeah, 8k something. I said I'm not a good math guy. but if they are able to like siege down mid lane, I have the feeling if they are able to win another fight, another scrappy fight, this is game. This is going to be game. There is no way that the side of VGU is able to like stop super minions as there are now. As I said before, yes, they have a 6. That's very, very nice. That's very, very juicy, very, very sexy. But a 6 level 11 with but 2 items is not able to immediately clear out an entire super minion wave or Baron minion wave. But I have the feeling that also the side of VGU have realized this their mistake and are trying to like play a different way in how League of Legends being built. But I forgot that Boost actually has, sorry for my hiccups, actually still have a Rift Herald, and they are making very good use of it.
Yeah, that charge down into the bot line, B9 stacks, Austin Sheep, and Buddha all shadowing that Herald is going to mean that they're trying to push into that first inhibitor turret. Itchy Rat in the area now, but that's going to be a charge going off and a lot of priority created on that bot side of the map that will allow for the side of Team Ambition Exodia to kind of move towards that dragon. Obviously, being down a dragon means that there's a bit of a buffer zone on the side of Virtue Gaming to prevent them from getting soul, but this is still going to be a large amount of momentum continually transferred over towards Team Ambition.
Oh, quality player, I think you're dead.
Yeah, friend. A little bit too deep right there. They thought everyone was going to be on Dragon, but TA Luna staying as that split pusher on the other side of the map, just going to catch that Tristana out, and with the Rift Maker and Shadow Flame already down, going to blow through that health bar.
Buddha is going for it. He won some cow beef for dinner, but so far he's like, wait, where's my team? Hashtag follow up. So he's getting exactly nothing, but I like how this is being played. TA, despite knowing that they have like a huge advantage in comparison to the side of VGU, Itchy Rat, you don't want to take this fight.
Yeah, Itchy Rat seeing blood in the water. Unfortunately, TA like just too strong right here. That's going to be a burst down. Zohair eventually going to be taken down as well, but the light at the end of the tunnel is that Lissandra that was 9-2 is eventually going to be killed, this time by a huge nuke coming in from the side of Arch. A wild Terry and Arch now, the only people staying alive. Tristana now moving into the area, and it looks like just because of the health bars, TA is going to back off instead of trying to get that mid inhibitor turret.
Welcome back to the Clapping Part 5. Also, I have to admit, I really like that. I really like that Samira support being spicy 0-0 in 10. 148 CS at 23 minutes. I mean, it's better than what I'm able to gather, but so far Light doing the doing most of the heavy lifting, but without Buddha and the way he is playing this game, Buddha playing an amazing game, knowing his not his limits, knowing his strength would probably be the correct term. Just knowing, okay, they have a Janna, they have slows, they have CC. Nah, hell nah. Let me show you how we do this in Freljord. But the game has slowed down a little bit. I have the feeling the side of TA is just going to wait until Baron is going to spawn back, and then just going to enjoy very much the next fight they're going to bring to the table. Warlocks
Yeah, looks like right now B9 is a little bit too far forward, and that's going to lead to a headbutt pulverizes. Delby coming out from Zohair, trying to continue to follow up, but now with that support Samira in the area, they're going to start pumping in the damage. That's two people very low, though. B9 stacks probably going to be run down here as well. Austin's Sheep and the entirety of the bot side of Team Exodia going to go down, and now look at this. They're turning the fight back around. T9 Luna pretty low. Itchy Rat in the area, trying to continue to peel for the rest of his team. Gonna barely get out alive for the time being, but now look at this, just too much strength on the side of Team Ambition. Luna going to get a lot of damage in. Quality player coming back, trying to finally shut down that Lissandra once more. And now look at this, Buddha, the only one alive, trying to run down into the jungle with the entirety of Virtue Gaming breathing down his neck.
Oh yeah, and I have the feeling that they did not need to do this. I have also the feeling that the Olaf might he get away? I'm not. No, he's not. He's
probably going to be a lot combined with that blast plant. Yeah, there you go. T9 Buddha going down, doing a lot of damage to quality player on the way out though. But right now it looks like Virtue Gaming Unity is going to take this advantage and try to push down some more towers, try to reestablish some sort of presence on the map as we move into this crucial minute before the Baron begins to spawn.
I love how B9, let's just call him Slacks, I think that might cut me some slack, how he was like in the side before everything knocked off, like he was right where he is now, looked at the tri-brush where Itchy Rat is now, hesitated, and still was like, yeah, there's no way all three of them are in this brush right now. And I hate to say it, or just mention the possibility, it might actually end up costing the game. I mean, they are still ahead by roughly 7,000 gold. Oh, hold up. No, 6,000 gold. And Luna also invested like TP as well, so it's forced to be on the same side because, well, Baron is up. There's a bounty on his head as well. A lot of problems are starting to pile up for the side of TA, so Terry is still like a lot of levels down, but the utility items are slowly and steadily coming in. Currently, Terry with 70 vision score. I am not quite sure if TA want to take this fight right now, because as far as I can see, all crucial abilities are up on the side of VGU, also on the side of TA. It's going to be a patience game. Whoever is going to pull the trigger first is going to lose this fight, and I have the feeling both triggers are being pulled, but not at each other, but at the objectives at hand. So TA are just going to take the Baron, be happy with it. Meanwhile, the side of VGU are going to take the objective bounty open from the Drake, as well as going for a now open soul point. But a lot of macroing is going on. I mean, duh. But TA is like using, okay, we have a little bit of an advantage. Everybody seemed to have been bot side. We are going to crush down on the top side inhibitor. We have super minions. The thing is, and I think they should maybe not force this inhibitor. The reason being they haven't backed yet. They might have some items laying around being good to take, but I think they're fine. They're just going to take this inhibitor, back off, be happy with it. And I think the next big fight at the latest will come down when the next Drake is spawning. Why? Because, well, Drake Soul, and we all know as soon as Drake Soul is coming up on the table, anything what is existing in terms of macro and ignoring Soul is going to go out of the window. So things are looking quite nice for the side of TA. So far, they are just going to make use of the Baron buff, just trying to knock down the door that is the mid inhibitor tower. I swear to God, I can't speak English. And I think they are going to make a lot of use of the pressure they're going to build up. The thing is also, on the other side, one open inhibitor, one downed inhibitor, and more or less a forced way.
Wow, B9 stacks going right in there, going to take that blast plant over, trying to get out as well as do some damage and do some CCing to the side of Virtue Gaming here. And now look at this, it's quite the split fight. B9 Slacks and Awesome are going to be right on top of Zohair now, and Zohair is unfortunately going to go down. TA Luna getting that kill on that side of the map. Meanwhile, Buddha too deep under that tower right there. Trade's going to be trade's going to come them back to the side of Virtue Gaming. And now look at this. It's going to be a 3v2 inside of the base. Arch nearly at full health, meaning that he's able to do a pretty effective job of zoning off Awesome Sheep and B9 Slacks.
Well, the fight doesn't seem over just yet. We have Luna going back to base to heal up. I think they want to end the game right here, right now. And I have the feeling Arch is making use of the strength that is the Ziggs. Being able to... I think my camera just kind of said, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, TA Luna going to help take down that tower, and in turn, Itchy Rat's also going down. That's going to be both Nexus turrets gone. Now look at this, B9 Slacks at low health, trying to CC Arch and allow for the last few hits to be taken upon the Nexus. But with the return of Virtue Gaming Unity, they're going to take down the rest of Team Ambition as they were standing in base. And this is going to allow for them to stabilize, at least for a little bit. But with no turrets up on the map, this is going to be a big shift in favor of Team Ambition.
Actually, I'm not quite sure if I enjoy what I just saw. Because now everything has turned back to the side of... Okay, my camera is back on. That is called overstaying. I mean, I can understand the hustle trying to finish the game as fast as possible. If you see everybody respawning in the next 5 seconds, you should maybe know, okay, I don't think we should overforce this. They overforced it, and... things are not looking too hot. The only good thing that came out of for the side of VGU is, okay, they are going to take Drake. We are not able to contest this because, well, we have top lane super minions pushing in. We have everywhere super minions pushing in. If they are going to try to contest this Drake, this might actually lose them the game. Terry is also slowly but steadily coming online. I mean, he is level 13 versus Luna is level 16. So the difference / advantage from the side of Luna is slowly but steadily diminishing. But I have the feeling TA is not going to have none of those shenanigans. They're just trying to brute force their way into the base. They just want to end this fight and end this game and not allow any more advantages. Itchy Rat also being quite literally... what's the word? Not allowed to play the game, just being left aside. I don't think TA know he's here. They do now.
Yeah, Itchy Rat trying to headbutt back TA Buddha right there, but that amount of resilience he's going to allow for the rest of Team Ambition to kind of collapse down onto them. Arch dominating here, going to take down the Lissandra, the big damage dealer, but the shutdown going onto the side of Zohair means that we have Arch quality player and Wild Terry, the three stalwarts left, trying to defend the base from the continuous push-in of these super minions on all sides from Team Ambition.
But I have a feeling Team Ambition just want to do everything they can to finish the fight. And I don't even... Yeah, okay, they're doing me.
Team Luna going in right there. Gwen is immune, and those E's empowering the auto attacks are going to finish the game. Team Ambition taking this first one in a series against Virtue Gaming Unity.
Sum up this entire game in one sentence. What a mess! Like I'm willing to bet money that Terry, yes, he French now, that Terry did not expect this game to go the way it did. But they are going to have to like change the draft a little, be like, okay, you know what, nah, no more top lane Terry, you are going back on a real champion. Still had a little bit more money than his beefy bot lane counterpart.
Yeah, most definitely. We saw a lot of advantages actually coming through, especially in those first 8 or so minutes on the side of Virtue Gaming Unity. But after a few bad team fights, when Gwen started coming online, you really saw the momentum swing way too quickly in favor of Team Ambition. And that just meant that all the value that you were extracting from the Janna early game just could not match what became a massive snowball on the side of Team Ambition.
Well, they had a Ziggs with a huge nuke snowball, but he didn't nuke hard enough. So, the side of TA is going to take the first game. There is going to be a switch in sides, so now the side of VGU is going to play blue side. So the draft is going to change a little bit as well. Everybody, get yourself some drinks, get yourself some snacks, take a smoke, whatever you need to relax and get ready for the next fight. We're going into a short break, and afterwards, more things will be broken. Especially bones. Especially bones.
Welcome back, everybody. For those of you who are just joining us, this is going to be the draft phase for Game 2 between Virtue Gaming Unity and Team Ambition Exodia. We already have some bans coming through right here. What do you think we're going to be seeing changed from Game 1, let's AMP?
I have the feeling we're not going to see another Janna top. Not for the reason that it is, well, a Janna top, but more for the reason that, like, certain people are not quite able to play with a Janna top. Terry did an okay job in the early game. Actually not an okay job, he did a good job. Got himself his jungler ahead, got himself his bot ahead, but things then suddenly spiraled out of control. And with the side of VGU banning out Lissandra and the side of TA not able to ban out anything, things are sweeping up. So we have Gwen back at it again in the top lane for the side of TA. VGU taking the shock spark of Son herself, Zeri. We are going to have a very interesting game. We are also getting a Soraka. I think that was actually banned in the last game. As far as I know, our lad in the bot side, TA B9 Slacks, got himself his Leona denied, did a good job last game, and now is going to be a little bit more squishy, a little bit more healy, getting himself a Soraka. Biju answering with a Corki after the Corki nerfs. Actually, a lot of people saying champion not that strong anymore. I agree to disagree. Corki's still doing great with his package. He is going to have one more less package over the course of one game. But I have the feeling how VGU is playing. Like, they didn't play to the complete strength last game, but they are still a very good team. And Corki in combination with Lilia setting up some catches, setting up some good team fights around the area of the Drake. Things are might looking very, very interesting. Now, the question is, with top side still being open for the side of VGU as well as their support, I'm not quite sure they are willing to run it back, because as of now, Team Ambition is standing at match point. If they win again, well, the series is over. Oh my god, we are okay. I like myself on Tarek. I really do. Now, the question is, where is this Tarek go? Where is anybody going? Like, Gwen could be played in the jungle, Gwen could be played in the mid lane. Things are heating up. And even in the last game where we had the 6 pick, we both assumed immediately it was going to go to the mid lane. Ended up in the top lane. Yeah, not in the top lane, in the bot lane, the other top lane, if you play Wild Rift.
Yeah, definitely some interesting choices coming through for Team Ambition here. Obviously, Tarek has been known to go mid, has been known to go top before, in especially a lot of funnel strategies. But also, we've been seeing LS talking up Soraka mid recently. Faker been playing it on stream a little bit. It could be the case that Soraka is going mid with Tarek in that support role. What do you think we're going to be seeing in this next few rounds of picks?
Okay, if Tarek really is going to be a funnel support, they're still going to need, like, a better front line. I would say Tarek, yes, he is still going to be a little bit chunky with his heal and everything. Also, if he's building like a little bit tankier, they still need like a real front line. Reason being, we saw it in the last game for the side of VGU. They only had like Xin Zhao in combination with an Alistar. They were not enough to be a stable front line. Actually, the opposite. As soon as one was like swept aside, or just like a little bit, what's the word? Like kept away from the rest of the team, things went nuclear very, very fast. Speaking of going things nuclear, we're having a Jax, and this makes me as a top laner very, very happy. I'm going to enjoy this. Not only for the reason that there is no top lane Janna, but just for the reason that I love myself a brawler lane in the top lane. Hands will be thrown, lanterns will be spun, and either Jax is going to be cut up into 1,000 pieces or Gwen will get the bonk. There is no sugarcoating it, but now the question is, what are we getting as a support? What are we going to get? We're getting a Rakan. Okay. Side of VGU, strong team fighting, good pick potential. Side of Team Ambition playing a little bit more on off metagame, in my personal opinion. So, what is going to be the final pick? I assume it's going to be the jungler. The last game. Oh my god. Okay. Malphite. There is the chunky frontline I was talking about. So, a lot of things that are actually open. I mean, I doubt that it's going to be, but they have a Taric. It could actually go into the jungle. I don't think so. I think Gwen is going to go into the jungle. Malphite top, Taric / Soraka's mid lane. And, well, the counterpart who is not in mid lane is going to go into the supportive role. Now, Jax said top lane, Lilia jungle. I mean, it could also be swapped. Jax is not a bad jungler per se, but his clear speed is lacking a little bit as far as I know. Although if he does a blue start, it might actually work out. So we're just going to wait down the ban phase now, since we are in the real tournament draft now inside the client. Looking at how things are now, what is your opinion? Like, just your general opinion. Do you like what you see?
On the side of Virtue Gaming Unity, I think we're seeing a lot of really strong picks, a lot of really meta picks coming through, and I think that they're just kind of trying to go back to a more traditional style of play after the kind of hiccups that we saw with the Janna top in game 1. Meanwhile, Team Ambition seemed a little bit emboldened by the way that they played the last game and decided to go for what looks to be a Gwen jungle, meaning that Soraka is going mid, and in the bot lane we're going to be having a Samira and Taric. Unfortunately, we're not getting any light rocket action today, but this, I think, does mean that we're going to be seeing a lot of really big clashes in that top lane, and I'm feeling good about Virtue Gaming Unity's chances this time around, especially with that Lilia and Corki setting up the late game.
Yeah, they have. I like the Soraka pick. It's still a solo lane pick, which is, well, off meta, but I like it. I like it more in terms of position inside the rift. Soraka is, well, not going to be like a strong pusher, but the way she's going to be moving allows her to go to the top side, go to the bottom side, as well as supporting Gwen in terms of early skirmishes and maybe even possible invades, as well as support for ganks. Like, Soraka can silence the Corki before he Valkyries away. If she's able to, like, be very, very sneaky with her silence, she's even able to root him, allowing Gwen to just prance into the lane, pulling up on the block, snipping the poor Corki into pieces. Samira, meanwhile, is going to have a lot of fun in the bot lane. Zeri, for the people who are not like yet familiar with her, is basically not playing League of Legends as in terms of regular ADC, because her Q ability is basically her auto attack, and her passive is her new auto attack. I'll get to it a little bit before, after we have gone into the game, but if Samira and Taric are able to get level 2 before Zeri Rakan, they are going to just dominate the established lane dominance. And even if Rakan and Zeri if they are able to get into level 2 first, they might be able to get a kill, but I don't think they're able to push out Samira and Taric. If they don't kill them at the first encounter, Taric and Samira are just going to win the early sustain war. Malphite top lane against the Jax. Malphite heavy Malphite favored lane. Reason being Jax auto attacks. He activates Counter Strike, and I'm not going to pull this Draven meme out of here now. He's just going to Q Jax, run away, and slow his attack speed. Lilia, Gwen. I'm not that familiar with how Gwen is doing in the jungle. I have seen her like probably 2 times so far. The second time being now. So, looking at how the entire situation has been explained, what do you think? Who is going to take away this game? My money would be on Team Ambition.
I think I got to stick with the hometown right now and got to continue to support Virtue Gaming here. Even though I agree that a lot of these matchups, especially early on, might be a little bit difficult. Zarian, Rakan, it's going to be very difficult to engage onto a Taric, especially with that E stun and the ability to just bonk people down. But I think that once you get to those team fighting stages, if you're able to pick off the Taric early or able to play around his ultimate, you have the ability to put massive sleeps down and just bomb people into pieces with Corki. So I think I'm still going to stick with Virtue Gaming here. I think we're going to be seeing a slower style of play, and I think we're going to be getting some really, really valuable fights around the objectives that will just be a blast to watch.
Oh yeah, definitely. So we are going to go into a very short break. It is 9 p.m. Everybody, I hope you're having a very, very nice evening. It's 3 a.m. at my place, and I'm on my third cup of coffee. It's going to be a long night. If Team VGU is going to win this, if Team Ambition is going to win this, this will be the last game of the evening. But so far, we still have time. Take a smoke, take a cup of coffee, get yourself something to drink or to snack. We'll be right back after these short transition minutes.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Aegis Defenders League. Today, we're in our second game between Virtue Gaming Unity and Team Ambition Exodia, trying to see a VG here with what looks to be a dual teaming invade going on right now, trying to bring it back in the second round. They're all bush camping, and here we go. Itchy Rat going to be the first ones in. There goes the E coming out from TA, while Terry already there. Itchy Rat pretty deep. Jack's going to get first blood around here, and now look at this. T9 Slack's going to have to go over the wall. 2 flashes being burned. Zohair and Wild Terry chasing down B9 Slacks. Meanwhile, Light's going to run away. The ambulance is engaged. Wee woo, wee woo.
That's the sound of the police, my friend. Okay, this is actually not that bad. It could be worse. It could be better. Now, let's see what has been exchanged. Rakan, both summoners, Terry, Zohair, Flash. On the side of Team Ambition, support lost to everything as well. Okay, I have the feeling that the side of VGU is going to have a little bit of an advantage in the early game. Although Samira got herself a little bit more cash in her cash in the bank, doesn't really matter. Reason being simple, she wasn't able to recall. Top lane, well, Jax is coming back very, very nicely with a long sword. But as far as I know, how how Malphite is being played, he is just going to throw out some rocks, be happy, live a happy life, retire with 30 and 50,000 gold in the bank. But Terry doesn't want a retiring rock, so he's just going to hit him hard, hit him fast, and shove in the wave. So, despite some very good early game action, Terry already going in, hitting level 2 first. Itchy Rat as well. He's not going in because his ADC does not have level 2 yet. Things quite slow, quite interesting, quite spicy. I like what I'm seeing. It's a good game start.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing too. Definitely Wild Terry trying to push his advantage, getting chipped down a little bit by those constant Q spams from TA Luna. But the fact that you have those items and you have those biscuits as well as the corrupting pots to heal back up means that this is probably going to be a pretty enduring lane on both sides. Meanwhile, we're seeing Gwen on that full clear path, just moving down to the bot side now.
Oh,
Lilia
Terry
kind of doing the same. Terry taking a little bit of damage right there. Definitely going to be chased off the wave right now. There's a big CS lead, but that's probably going to be equalized after we see him recall. Do you think that Terry's immediately going to TP back, or maybe we're going to see a walk back the lane?
Yes, no, he is immediately going to have to TP back. The wave is, to put it mildly, very, very, very bad. It's frozen directly outside of Luna's door. He is going to enjoy this very much. Losing cannon minions, kick W in chat. Because, yeah, that's how things go. Jax is just going to put down a word, not making sure that Gwen is not in the area and beating him up. Also, the reason why people may look like, okay, why did he TP all the way to tower and not TP on the wave? Reason, very, very simple. If he would have TP'd on the wave and Buddha would have been in the area, we know he wasn't, Terry would be dead, to put it very simple. So, things are going actually very, very fast in the top lane. Bot lane is keeping it very, very quiet, but Buddha is looking for a gank.
Yeah, Awesome Sheep gonna go in. There's that E from B9 Slash coming through. TA Buddha in the area, but unfortunately just not able to pump in enough damage on anyone, even with Ignite being popped from B9 Slash. Itchy Rat not going to go down. Well,
it is important to just be known. The thing is, well, everybody knows now where the hell Buddha is. He will just be in the bot lane, shove out the wave, making sure everybody is getting something done. Meanwhile, the side of Awesome Sheep and Slacks are going to recall or not. But I have the feeling that Vichu is just trying to play this actually very, very smart. What do I mean with very, very smart? Keeping the jungler on the bot side as long as possible. Because if you look at the top side, Lilia is jumping around, being prancing. But I have the feeling Luna knows she is in the area. I don't know if he knows. Does he know? Because despite there being a ward? Okay, it doesn't matter because everybody is recalling, being happy. But so far, the side of TA not looking too hot. Being down like close to 800 gold. But so far, everything looking very nice. Buddha just taking away some Raptors, taking away a little bit from Lilia, but I have the feeling the first brawl is going to happen very, very soon, because there comes Sawyer, and there is nobody in the area who is going to help the poor little, I was about to say the poor little lamp, in getting something done. A possibility would have been to take the Drake here, but with mid not having priority, because, well, of course, it's a Pusuraka, they are not going to do any shenanigans, just recalling, being happy with the results of getting a little bit of that Crux, of those Crux, and a little bit of those Raptors. But
yeah, definitely a pretty neutral early game. Wild Terry trying to get some more damage back onto the TA Luna, but that constant Q spam definitely going to be wearing down the Jax, especially early on in the game. We're seeing a little bit of movement here on the bot side of the map with Quality Player and Zohair down there at that Infernal Drake. Meanwhile, we see Arch and Ichirat vying for some amount of priority. These fights going through now with a Wild Terry at 6, TA Luna getting traded on pretty heavily. That was a great stun coming through. And it looks like Jax is going to take this back, or at least take a little bit of a roam while that wave crashes. There goes the first Drake over to the side of Virtue Gaming Unity, trying to stack similar to last game, but this time without the advantage of having that Janna with an extra smite mote roaming around the map.
Indeed, and Jax is going to be very comfortable with how things are. People might be like, okay, he's trading very aggressive. Why would he do this? Reason very simple. He wants to crash the wave, pop his potions, return immediately, and got himself a Sheen now. I think he had a Sheen like already before. I didn't take that big of a look-see. I'm just going to say how it is. A Jax with a Sheen is very, very dangerous. And speaking of dangerous, Buddha is on the bot side, feeling himself, but Zohair knows there's something going on in the neighborhood. Now, the question is Buddha going to commit to this fight? Or is it Zohair doing so first? So far, things are going... It's actually just like looking like a standoff in the Old West. But they just don't know there is a standoff. But Buddha just recalling, making sure nothing is happening. Midline, yes. Excuse me. Mid lane, meanwhile, just pulling each other. Light winning the sustain ward is actually keeping up in farm. Like, that's impressive. As somebody who can't even CS with a real champion, like, for example, Nasus or anything else that has like an auto attack reset. Well, I have to admit, High Elo is just built different.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive that we're seeing so much CS on the side of TA Light, but it must be noted that Quality Player on a weak early game champion like Corki is probably pretty happy for that matchup in the mid lane, just being able to get so much value, stack that tier up early, and just build towards that hybrid build we've been seeing so much this season. Meanwhile, we have Ichirat and Arch both trying to vie for control. Ichirat at level 6 here, while Awesome Chief is going to take that honor on the side of Team Ambition, means that there's a bit of a lopsided fight in the potential for engage to occur, but I think we're probably gonna have to wait for some jungle interference, such as up here in the top lane with TA Buddha waiting in the wings. Wild Terry going to engage, but TA Buddha gonna be able to come in. Look at that knock up, and yeah, look at that. Unfortunately, TA Buddha. Oh wow, Wild Terry trying to get out right there, but that last kick from TA Luna going to shut down and get a kill over to the side of Team Ambition.
That hurt my soul, just seeing that lonely ice block just rolling towards the Jax. But, well, that is what happens if you don't have a real weapon. But I don't think he really cares. He'll just pick up that lantern and be even more aggressive. He will come back and beat you with a lantern. Don't ask me why he's doing it this way, but according to lore reasons, Jax only picked up the lantern as a weapon because he wanted to make himself as weak as possible to possible future opponents, which is actually very, very scary to think about it. Could you imagine Jax having Master Yi's sword?
Yeah, real terror indeed. I think that it is also probably the case that Jax, you know, he's a bit of a liar at the same time, because he does have that lamppost for sure, but also look at this. He has a Sheen, he has a Doran's blade. That's a lot of weapons. That's a lot of blades that he has on him. I don't understand why those aren't incorporated into the fight. You can't say he doesn't have a real weapon with all those items.
I actually love this argument. He's like, yeah, I only have this lamppost, and he just opens his trench coat, and there's like 15 daggers, 3 axes, his Sheen, and a hardbound axe, and he's just like, Yes, I'm fighting fair. How did you know?
Yeah, opening up the trench coat a little bit right there, trying to jump on TA Luna, just classic trading patterns. This is overarchingly a pretty slow game right now, a little bit of vying for that tempo on the top side of the map because the Rift Herald is up, and that's probably where we're going to be seeing the next few movements. But right now, what do you think the game plan is going to be for Virtue Gaming going forward?
For Virtue Gaming, I would say scaling. Like, there is no meme, there is no laugh here. It's literally just, Luna. Okay.
Yeah, a wild Terry there.
Terry might actually... Okay, Luna has ultimate up. I don't think you want to dive this big fella. And Terry, being higher ranked than I am, knows this as well. So he's just going to retreat, being happy with how things are going. And to answer your question, the side of VGO just wants to scale, and that's completely fine. They have a Zeri, they have a Corki, they have a Jax with a huge trench coat, but they also have... Oh, here we go.
Yeah, immediately gonna rock it in right there, and that's going to be quality player taking down TA Light. Unfortunately, just not much offensive capability. The rest of the team moving in, though, and it looks like TA is going to continue the fight. Asleep going to go down, going to knock out 2 people right there. Meanwhile, B9 Slacks continuing to operate as that front line, walking forward now with Arch in the area as well. They're moving as 3 on either side, but it looks like we're going to be seeing the group of Virtue Gaming Unity going towards that second dragon, continue to try to stack those drakes. Meanwhile, we see a Wild Terry very deep on the top side of the map as we see the death ball of LA Buddha, TA Light, and Awesome Sheep all moving up there, maybe trying
Luna
to go for a gank in the Herald.
Luna has ult, but they don't feel that confident to dive a Wild Terry. He does have his ultimate as well, making him a little bit more tanky. Could you imagine the Jax coming out like nowadays? He got nothing but these hands to throw at you. So we have like these champions. We can like make enemies go berserk with Renata Glask, which I'm so much looking forward to casting. It's going to be so good. Meanwhile, mid lane, things are going very spicy for Quality Gamer. And TA Light being forced to use everything, going to be using the ultimate, going to be using the flash, going to use the barrier, and he's still going to die.
Oh yeah, that flash engage from Zohair, just going to Q bop that Soraka right back to base. It's going to be interesting to see what Team Ambition's going to be doing now that we have this Corki really starting to come online. The Soraka is obviously going to be valuable in a team fight situation, but currently we still feel like we're deep into that laning phase. No towers haven't fallen yet. What do you think we're going to be seeing now with Team Ambition going forward?
I would say first thing first, a brawl in the mid lane, because Buddha went a little bit too deep, and now everybody is throwing everything at him, including the kitchen sink, and that's a dead Buddha.
Yeah, throwing the bombs, throwing the flash, and that is a Gwen going down, going Nashor's Tooth first, interestingly enough. How do we think that's going to kind of impact and develop the build path for Gwen in the jungle going forward? Obviously, they still have that Herald to move on the map with.
That's actually a very good question. I actually think that's actually a very good question. Well, how things are, Gwen is not a full champion yet. It actually feels more like an AP caster minion and with a little bit more tanky stats. And a very effective Shroud, to say the least. But due to the absence of like the Rift Maker, she's not that tanky just yet. But then again, Buddha probably knows what he's doing. I say probably because I'm not quite sure. But in the last game, he knows how to jungle, and he knows how to make this work. But as things are now, I don't think Terry really cares. He's still going to brawl things out, but Buddha is in the area. Terry knows that something is shady as well, because, well, Buddha just ate a little bit of reincarnation. So he's going to be on the top side as of now. We're seeing this. And he is still not backing off. Or is he? I think Buddha knows something is up. Okay, things are looking interesting in the top lane. What's it going to be? Is Terry going to commit to this fight? Because there is a lot of things going on in the top side. I really, really like this. Are they going to try? Okay.
Yeah, TA Luna gonna have to ult right out of there. Zohair ulting them right back, but now with Buddha in the area trying to defend, but unfortunately Malphite's gonna go down. And now look at this, Wild Terry very low. Itchy Rat trying to peel in that area, but look at that TA Buddha's ult coming right out, and that's going to be a kill onto the side of Team Ambition. Exodia answered right back with Virtue Gaming coming through. Corki now 3-0-2. That's what you want to see on that scaling mid laner.
Oh, hell yes, you want to see this. This is actually making me happy. After Terry not being allowed to play League of Legends as a real champion in the top lane last game, he is probably just trying to get rid of all the aggression he built up. Going for a Trinity Force, I think that... Not quite sure. It makes sense, but there could also have been the possibility of just going, not Riftmaker, but going, what's it, Divine Sunderer. Meanwhile, Slacks, knowing things are going down, getting hit in the head, but so far, despite the amount of things that went on, the side of VGU are not like overplaying their hand. They are still playing this patiently. They don't want to make the mistakes they did last game by trying to go off meta, being a little bit more spicy with everything. They're just going to be standard, resetting, and now I'm moving towards the Drake, which they are kind of forced to do because the side of VGU are already on slowly 3 different Drakes. But I'm not sure if they know that Terry has no TP. I mean, Terry doesn't care. He just squats down.
Yeah, immediately going to turn onto TA Luna here. The stun going to come out as well, and look at that empowered auto attack coming through from the Malphite, but that's going to have to be a kite back towards tower. And look at that burst damage forcing the flash out of TA Luna. Light now in the area, trying to turn the fight a little bit, but this means that you're pulling a lot of people towards that top side while the dragon is about to spawn. Virtue Gaming Unity definitely looking to go up to Soul Point here. Here comes a package coming in. Austin Sheep going to have to run away. The E not really connecting from the Taric right there, and now they're clustered under the tower. Itchy Rat pulling quality player as well as Arch down there towards that dragon. We see the approach of the 4 from the side of Team Ambition moving into the area, but they're continually getting zoned off right now. There's that big E coming through from Zeri. Will they be able to make it past this threshold of this bush right here?
No, definitely not, because if we could have like vision comparison from the 2 sides, the side of TA do not have vision of the bot side river, so they are just going to try to take the mid lane tower, getting themselves a little bit of gold from the objective bounty, and things are starting off.
Yeah, maybe they're a little bit too deep. Terracolt going to come out there, and that is going to help prevent too much damage from coming through after that Lilia ult, but TA Buddha a little bit too deep now, and look at this. B9 Slacks also a little bit too far in, not able to heal up enough. Awesome Sheep going to come in and going to keep zoning people off with that ultimate. A Wild Terry coming in from the other side. Look at that Arch taking down the opposing ADC, and a double kill going over to Jax means that we're going to be getting the first ace of the game, this time going over to the side of Virtue Gaming Unity.
I think Terry is really much enjoying playing League of Legends this way than he was with Janus my top. I don't know the guy. I hope he's doing fine. I hope he's healthy during in those times, and I also hope he's dishing more out with his Trinity Force. I mean, when we were talking about before, like having a sheen hidden in his trench coat, he now only has like a dagger, a pair of Gucci shoes, which have been upgraded to Dolce Gabbana shoes. Like, damn, that blue is very nice this time of year. And I think he is very fine with how this fight went last game. I swear I can speak English, I swear to God. Promise, pinky promise. How this fight went, but I have the feeling the next brawl is about to break out. It actually doesn't have to if TA doesn't want to take this Rift Herald. Because if they don't take this in the next 10 seconds, it's just going to despawn. And I have the feeling everybody is fine with this. Corki just taking bot side tower, opening up the map a little bit more, and especially allowing Itchy Rat to just, setting down vision. But I have the feeling he is repeating himself from last game.
Yeah, gonna have to blast cone out, and Rakan just being such a slippery fellow there with that W allowing for him to move away from that Taric stun. A Wild Terry now really trying to push his advantage in that top lane, continuing to split and continuing to push that Malphite under the tower. It looks like a Frozen Heart being the first item coming out from TA Luna here. Overall, what do you think about the itemization we're seeing out of Team Ambition? We're seeing a few people deciding to not go for the Mythic first, that being the Malphite and the Gwen. Gwen obviously now bidding towards the Riftmaker with the Leeching Leer. But what do you think think about these choices? Tarek also notably not on first item yet.
Well, Tarek did not have that good of an early game. He has himself his first finished, well, item more or less with Bulwark of the Mountain, but he is, well, hold that thought, bot lane is getting down.
Yeah, TA Light in a lot of trouble here. Just not really able to do much. Soraka unable to stick with the team, and unfortunately that means that they're going to continue to get picked off with not much opposition backing that way. A Wild Terry hopping over that wall saying, hey, here I am, and TA Luna having to immediately walk back towards that tower. Now we're getting a little bit of a fight mid lane. Arch and Nichirat continuing to push down. Now TA Buddha in the area. A Wild Terry may be in a little bit of trouble. We're seeing a TA teleport pop on the top side. Quality player now here, mowing down TA Luna with that angry showerhead and moving back over towards Buddha. A shutdown going over to the side of Team Ambition, but it looks like now we're getting a dominating Corki with Gwen losing their life for that takedown.
I'm not sure if they're going to immediately go for this Baron, but to answer your question, why on God's green earth would Luna go for Frozen Heart first? Easy answer. If your main opponent is going to be an auto-attacking enemy, like, well, a Jax, a Tryndamere, or anything else in this regard, you want something to slow down this attack speed. And speaking of slowing down, Slacks want to do anything to at least give his team some hope, but he is... Oh!
He's gonna flash in and try to go for the steal right there. No ultimate pop, just trying to go for one quick bonk there at the end. But unfortunately, that's gonna be another kill going over to the Corki and a Baron for the side of Virtue Gaming Unity. Looking very, very strong in this second game here.
Flax, I appreciate the hustle, but what the... could you imagine how wild Twitch would have gone if he just comes in, ease, refuses to elaborate, dies?
Yeah, I don't think there was much more to that plan besides just going for an auto attack or E-Steal. And I would imagine that E-Steal is pretty hard to time given the delay on that ability in general. Very interesting choice there by B9 Slacks, but obviously with the gold gap widening as much as it is, it's probably valuable to try to go for some of those hero plays. Team Ambition gonna have to do something big here. B9 Slacks getting caught out again though. Unfortunately gonna get pushed away, but quality player gonna get another kill and get that legendary status going. Now look at this awesome sheep and TA Light clustered under that dying tower, having to move back due to just being poked out by so much damage. And look at that, the incineration from the Leandries on the side of Lilia going to lead to the kill. That was incredibly delayed, but Light unfortunately not able to get out of there alive. Meanwhile, on the top side of the map, T9 Wild Terry continuing to go wild. There comes the ult from T9 Luna trying to shut down this champion, and finally a Wild Terry is going to go down again, but that's at the cost of a tower.
God, I love League of Legends. Like, I hate playing it, but just watching it and being a caster for this is basically the best thing you can do. Before everything went to hell and back, where were we?
Maybe we were talking about itemization or something, but I don't think that matters a whole lot now. We got a lot of those items on the side of Virtue Gaming coming through as they all pressure down on the spot side with those empowered Baron minions. A Hole Breaker going over to Jax, so now he has a big hammer right there inside of his trench coat alongside the Triforce and a Caulfield's Warhammer. This is one fed boy who's really starting to lie about his status as using only a nerfed weapon.
I love how you mentioned like he's very fat. He's 3, 4, and 5. Is down is 150 CS at 23 minutes. He's not fat. He's basically average. He's like the only thing he's doing is basically lying about his trench coat. Also, on the side of VGU, I actually didn't notice how ahead they are. They are 13k above. Also, what I wanted to say, Slacks has so far shown himself to have, how do I best explain this, a tendency in going into brushes he knows he shouldn't go in and then proceeding to die. We had this last game where he went into a brush where an L-Star and the rest of his team and goons were waiting, just immediately getting beat to death. And in this game he just went to, well, the opposite side and ran immediately into a very angry Rakan and a very angry deer. Well, I'm surprised they didn't pick the what's his name, Graves as an answer to the Lilia, because I think she was picked first. Because if we've learned anything from Bambi, then the only answer to a deer is a shotgun. So
Oh,
I butchered this joke. I know I butchered this joke. I know I did.
I was trying to think about the matchup in my head a little bit, but I got there at the end. Unfortunately, some dark jokes coming out here. But this is what happens when you decide to go with that Gwen jungle as kind of a flex pick right there. We could have had a little bit more pressure coming into the jungle, something that was really needed. But now we're getting a big fight. Terracol coming down right here, and meanwhile, Quality Play having to go golden, going to be able to kite their way back. And now look at this sleep. That's a huge amount of damage coming through, and it looks like with Arch being on a killing spree, this might just be the end of the game in favor of Virtue Gaming Unity taking the second match.
Luna already left. He has had enough. He's okay. I'm supposed to be the counter pick. I know this game is actually favored towards Malphite. Then why the hell am I 1-3 and well down 50 CS at this point? Well, this was game 2 out of 3. We're going the whole 9 yards. I am very much looking forward to the third game. Well, I have the feeling I shouldn't do like a prediction for the last game, because else the caster curse is going to hit. But Quality Player, Nomen est Omen, playing, showing that he has learned a lot during his exchange stay to Australia, being a very quality heavy player. Good performance from VGU. Team Ambition not struggled. They stumbled a bit and then fell and never bothered to get up. Well, any last words before we go into a short break?
I think that we saw a real big game plan shakeup on the side of Virtue Gaming Unity that really changed the momentum of the game. We saw them originally playing for these scaling champs, trying to just play passively in lane, even going down a kill, going down a little bit of gold here and there. But the domination of those dragons early and the ability to just force really strong team fights meant that even for a scaling comp, they were able to close this game out in a quick 25 minutes. It will be really interesting to see if they're going to continue this momentum moving into the final game.
And with those words, get yourself a cigarette, get yourself a drink, a little bit of a snack. We're going to game 3. And, well, depending on how fast we're in production, we're going to be back in either 2 minutes or in 12. We'll see you later. And with those, we're going to a short break.
And welcome back, everyone. This is game 3 between Virtue Gaming Unity and in the Aegis Defenders League against Team Ambition Exodia. We saw a really interesting mix-up in game 2 where we saw the off-meta pick coming from the side of Team Ambition and just not really panning out. The Soraka mid pick, unfortunately, getting kind of bulldozed by the Corki. Are we going to see any changes in the draft or bans going forward?
Absolutely not. I mean, the Seri has been taken back into the game banning phase. So Lissandra now for the side of VGU for Team Ambition being open now, who just went immediately, you know what? We won one with Gwen, we lost one with Gwen. We're just going to throw everything onto the Gwen. And the question is now just going to be, where the hell is the pure lady going to go? Is she going to go back to the top lane? Probably, hopefully. Is she going to go back into the jungle? Please don't. But so far, nothing out of the ordinary. We are seeing a Jinx first time this game. I mean, duh. But first time this series. So far, last game we had a Zeri versus a Samira. First game we had a Samira versus a Ziggs. So now we are seeing a Jinx and a Nautilus. Very stable bot lanes. Very, very chunky boy. Good hyperscaling with Jinx as well. Only needs one takedown, one assist, one something. And she will just immediately start beating down on everybody she doesn't like. And with Renata Glass being released next patch, this is going to include her own teammates. I am so looking forward to this release. I am absolutely. And the Samira immediately back as an answer, the bot lane version of the Gwen. Not in terms of kit, but in terms of pick priority for the side of Team Ambition. And from the side of VGU, let's see what we're going to get. Are we going to get the Smite top Janna? I highly doubt so. Are we going to see the mid lane Soraka? I doubt so as well. And your wish is coming true, my big fella. We are seeing a Rel.
Rel, as it is. This is going to be a really interesting bot lane. Obviously, Nautilus having a lot of abilities to disengage, as well as force fights where Rel might be a little bit uncomfortable. But the Jinx, just a consistently contested pick in pro play and high level play for a while now. It'll be really interesting to see now that we have the bot lane kind of filled out for both sides, where the teams decide to go with the rest of the draft.
Okay, Lilia as well. There are no shenanigans going on with spicy picks, bot lane shenanigans, anything. But I have the feeling that the side of VGU might try something with another Janna top, because I am seeing a ban from Olaf. I'm also seeing the Jax ban. I have the feeling both teams had like one pick from the opponent where we're like, you know what? I think we're good. But I really, really like the Rel pick. Reason being, Nautilus, known for being chunky, known for taking armor, known for just being an absolute bulwark. Rel will just poke him once and steal all of his stats. Because I think people might have forgotten over the time, Rel has the ability to steal armor and magic resists from her opponents. And with Samira, who is enjoying everything that has to do with CC, if Rel gets level 2 first and Samira is, well, Samira, they will just go in and blow up everybody who moves. Nautilus might be able to walk away if he's able to proc his Aftershock and Q away. But if they get the Jinx into their hands, things are not looking too spicy. And here goes the Graves pick. Actually surprised that it was banned, because as I already mentioned before in a bad joke that I butchered, Graves a good counter into the Lilia with his smokescreen, slowing her down, blinding her. Just a good around answer. And speaking of good around answer, we're getting a Corki possibly? Are we getting one? I mean, it's hovered. It's basically, for me personally, it's already locked in. And it is locked in. Okay, so we have two various scaling lanes with Jinx in the bot lane and Corki in the mid lane. I actually wish for something with a little bit more early aggression into the top lane, maybe, despite his stats at the moment. Maybe a Renekton, which would be able to allow for some early game shenanigans in the top lane, allowing Lilia to just come up, hit somebody in the face. And speaking of hitting into the face, we're seeing a Gragas. The man, the myth, the absolute legend that this man is, can be put into the jungle, can be put into the top lane. I have the feeling my lad is going into the jungle, because after Gwen got beaten to death by a horse or a very angry deer in the last game, I don't think Gwen is going back into the jungle. She will stay in the top lane, being in the hands of what's his name?
With TA Luna.
Thank you. I think things are going fine. Okay. I like it. There we have early aggression with a Fiora. Now the question is just going to be if Gragas goes top or not. As said, I think he's going into the jungle, but if Gragas goes into the top lane, things might get very, very angry, very, very spicy, and very, very ugly. Fiora can just repost everything Gragas brings to the table. His slow, gone. His body touched, question mark. His barrel drunken out. With Gwen not having any form of like hard CC, she is able to make a little bit more use of Fiora not being able to like hard stun her. But as things are now, the side of VGU actually looking very good. There's also no very spicy shenanigans going on. People might point out the Ahri, which got a rework this game where she got where her heal got like buffed. That when she kills minions, she heals herself a little bit. And her ultimate now having a reset mechanic of getting another cast if she's able to get, I think, a kill, or was it an assist? I'm not quite sure. Just a takedown. Do you know this by any chance?
Yeah, she is a reset champion now, Riot, loving that kind of mechanic, but basically on takedown, her R is going to allow for more dashes. And speaking of casks, in your little slip of the tongue here, we do have Gragas going on into the jungle with Gwen being with TA Luna there in that top lane. Meanwhile, no really weird picks on the side of Virtue Gaming. Fiora obviously going with Wild Terry there in the top. And Corki, which quality player popped off on last game, getting through the draft pick and going there into that mid. It's going to be really interesting to see if the Ahri pick is going to be able to put a little bit more sauce on the table and push back against the rapidly scaling champion that we see right there, given the fact that the Soraka did basically nothing to stop the tidal wave of Corki bombs and power that we saw from the last game.
Definitely. I think Ahri is a very good answer into the Corki. If she is able to charm the Corki, despite the damage, magic damage amplification removal, try to say this 5 times fast, she would still be able to just immediately blow up the Corki if she's able to make full use of the CC and has her ultimate up. It may also depend on what summoner spell she's bringing to the table. I would assume it's going to be an Ignite, which would just amplify her kill threat even more. If she's able to keep the Corki down, she's able to go basically anywhere. Maybe with exception for the top lane. If she's able to find Lilia, she can kill Lilia. If she's able to find Jinx, well, she's able to just kill Jinx. But this is a two-way street, as we have seen last game. The side of VGU has a very good draft. I like it much. They can play 3 different types of comps. What I mean with this, they can play just a classic 1-3-1, meaning in the side lanes, 1 champion each, like a Fiora and Corki, and just having Lilia, Jinx, and Nautilus in the third lane as a triple pack to make sure nothing happens. And if something is going to happen, Corki and Fiora are able to like respond immediately with the TP. On the side of Team Ambition, they have more of a pick comp, or actually they only have a pick comp. Ahri's Charm, Gragas Cask, Gwen's Slow from her Needles, and well, Rel's entire kit. If they're not able to like immediately delete anybody from the side of VGU, they are going to lose that fight. But the side of VGU can just adapt to whatever the side of Team Ambition is going to throw at them. If they notice, okay, we are getting picked off 1 by 1, we're going to just establish more vision and just allow the split pusher to take as much pressure as they are able to, well, take. Let's say, for example, Fiora is splitting top lane, and they're seeing that 4 people are coming to the top lane. They can immediately just answer, okay, we have 4 people top lane, we immediately just going to take bot side tower or take immediately Drake, and the other way around. So it actually is going to come out to the executioner from the side of VGU. The ball is in their court. TA, they are going to be a very biteful comp. And, well, we're going to have our real first game of League of Legends. No spicy picks. But the only thing spicy is the time we're being down now for the next 2 minutes, and until then, get yourself some stacks and stay hydrated. And we'll be right back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Game 3 between Team Exodia, Team Ambition Exodia and Virtue Gaming Unity here in the Aegis Defenders League. We are starting again once more with a big death ball on either side. This is the third game in which we've been seeing some sort of invade coming through. This time, Team Ambition is going to be on the blue side of the map, and meanwhile, we see the death ball of Virtue Gaming Unity moving through that top side of the bottom jungle.
Nobody knows what is going on. I love it. And now the big question is, who of them is going to make the first mistake? Because nobody knows about the other being present, as far as I know. And I have the feeling that the side of TA is about to have a very, very rude awakening. Oh, you know, that's why they are higher elo than I am, because I, for the life of myself, would not have had the idea of just putting a ward in there and assuming, okay, maybe not. So, no shenanigans early game, except for the side of VGU getting themselves a very, very juicy ward, getting themselves some big money, and this is GG. Jinx already has one CS. She's going to hit level 2 first. Ichiro is just going to kill everybody. We're getting a pentakill at level 2.
Yeah, TT's unfortunately not being able to come through anymore. But we do have a really interesting setup here with the leash coming from the bot side on the side of Virtue Gaming. This does mean that we're getting the push advantage from Awesome Sheep and B9 Slacks. Meanwhile, up here, a lot of trading already going on between a TA Luna and a Wild Terry. Big E coming through. Unfortunately, a Wild Terry's going to keep pushing in. TA Luna going to have to take a lot more damage there, already popping the potion.
Yeah, and with this, Terry has already established himself a little bit of lane dominance, which is a bad thing for Luna. It is going to play weak side because Greg has decided, you know what? I heard bot lane is very nice this time of year. I'm actually very interested in how Buddha is going to play this out. Currently, no lane is like open for a gank just yet. Top lane Luna is getting pushed in, bot lane is pushing back, so if Gragas is doing his thing right, he might be able to catch out Red and Arc. But what do I know? I don't like jungling. He said while just having like 120,000 mastery points on Vega, I was about to say.
Oh, that's a big charm coming through. TA Light going to get a lot of damage there onto quality player, but no tower shot to really seal the deal early on. We also got a note here that TA Light opted for teleport rather than ignite, which means that the kill pressure in that mid lane may be more dependent upon a jungler being in the area, both people being of pretty high elo and recognizing that they can't just go diving in willy-nilly.
We are not getting that very, very spicy Yasuo who's going 0-10 at minute 5.
Unfortunately not. Down here in the bot lane, it does look like we're starting getting a push from the side of Virtue Gaming. Itchy Rat obviously exerting an immense amount of pressure in lane right there. Everyone about level 3, meaning that an engage is possible from either side, but for the time being, it looks like Gragas staying on that bot side of the map will probably have the ability to rotate in, just kind of hoping that Arch and Itchy Rat stay pushed up for the time being.
Well, with how the wave is currently looking, the side of TA is slowly but steadily pushing back, and Gragas also just looking around, being happy, being the happy lad that he is, and he is attempting something in the mid lane. Oh no, never mind, he's going for a little bit of poke on Zohair. Knows TA Light is in the area, just being very, very happy. I love myself a Gragas player. Meanwhile, mid lane and bot lane, good god.
Yeah, there we go. A crash down coming through and a stun going to be going on, proccing the Glacial Augment. Arch definitely caught out a little bit there, but just no real damage being able to translate it back through. Rel, obviously not a champion, go for damage. W mounting back up, trying to get that flip over, forcing the flash out of Arch this time around. This is going to allow for a lot of damage to go back onto Awesome Sheep and B9 Slacks, but that is still going to be one summoner spell down on the bot side of the lane for Team Ambition. Meanwhile, on the top side here, it looks like a Wild Terry's just going to be pushing that individual pressure and getting first blood over to the side of Virtue Gaming Unity. That was a great solo kill.
Yeah, but they know there no blood is in the water, Buddha in the area, Light in the area, and that's
and unfortunately, it looks like even with Zohair there, the Fiora was just too caught out just in that alcove the entire time. And now look at this. We're going to be getting this wave pushed back, crashed into the tower with the help of both Buddha and Light there on the top side. Corki, meanwhile, just catching that wave mid, happy to just farm it up.
Well, definitely so. He also knows how to wave manipulate, because people might be asking, okay, why the hell is he not just pushing it out? Like, just crash it into the mid lane? No, just if you're not sure where your opponent is, even if you have seen it, could it be, okay, is Ari recalling? Is Ari staring in the area? You know what? I'll just freeze it and deny as much CS as possible. And Quality Player has no problem with this, already being level 6, but also being very, very low. And thus being able to get killed. But Light is just able to push the shove when it comes to push. And, well, Light just taking the pushback and denying a little bit more CS. Meanwhile, top lane, Terry...
Yeah, Terry able to just Q straight into that immune zone. The Howled Mist just not doing a whole lot for Luna in this matchup. And that now big ability to kind of push forward with that Iron Spike, which means that even though you have an O-Orb on the side of Luna, you still are going to definitely be bullied out of lane a little bit. Fiora up a lot of CS at this point in the game and definitely taking this early command over that top lane.
Yeah, also already level 6. Didn't even go for like I think it's quite a popular build or like a popular rune setup is like Grasp on Fiora, just stacking up Grasp procs on the wave and then just poking your enemy like she just does now.
Luda just having to kite back to tower. It's going to be interesting to see if Terry is interested in going for a dive here. Looks like we're forcing it back out of that top laner on the side of Team Ambition Exodia. Meanwhile, we have a little bit of drama on the bot side of the map as well now. Just a big invade coming through. Buddha there alongside Awesome Sheep and B9 Lex. Corki now moving into the area as well. Meanwhile, on the top side of the map, Gwen able to get that back and immediately TPing at full health to the lane. Now we're getting a bit of a fight going down here. Looks like Zohair is getting caught out, and even though you have Rel at low health, you're going to get that first kill down onto the jungler. Support now gone. Ichirak going to try to re-engage and go back in here. We're getting a bit of a split. Greg is going to have to dash through that wall in order to get out, and the Jinx just unleashing a lot of damage with the rockets down on that side of the map, forcing Team Ambition out in an even trade occurring for both Virtue Gaming and TA.
Feeling that the bot laners and the junglers were a little bit too greedy to get that blue buff. Yes, I can understand denying the resources to your enemy can be very valuable, but in this case, I personally would have just said, okay, you know what, we can do this, but let's just hit level 6 first, so we have a stronger team fight ability. They exchanged slacks for I don't even know. I know somebody died. I think it was Zohair. As far as Zohair is the only one who died, so they sacrificed the support for the jungler. Yes. If they would have waited until level 6, things might have looked a little bit different. But so far, I think I very much think so that the side of VGO is just fine with this. You know what? Sure, we will just take what we have. And meanwhile, in the top lane, Luna slowly but steadily assuming lane dominance. Like, okay, you have a very nice poke stick. I have 2.
Yeah, definitely using that Q to the advantage, trying to get that true damage in alongside the Oblivion Orb, just trying to deny any healing out of a Wild Terry here. Still a big CS advantage for the side of the Fiora here, and with Lily on the top side of the map, we may be looking for them to go for the Rift Herald rather than the Dragon. Meanwhile, we have the bot side being in a state where we're getting a push from the side of Team Ambition Exodia. B9 Slacks and Austin Sheep obviously trying to move that towards the tower, trying to get a bit of priority as the Dragon is up as well. Both neutral objectives going to lead to a pretty interesting match state going forward. What do you think the game plans are going to be for both teams?
I actually think that the first that as of now, both bot laners want to hit level 6 first. Also because both junglers retreated for now, got themselves their, well, items more or less, but meanwhile in the mid lane there are some shenanigans going on. Zohair is in the area and so is Buddha. Things are getting spicy.
Looks like we're getting a 3v3 crash down, gonna go on to Ichirat right here, and now look at this, a sleep coming out from Zohair. There's gonna be the ult pop, but Awesome Sheep gonna go down, and that's a double kill going over to the side of Virtue Gaming Unity, definitely coming out with the advantage. And Arch getting the last kill in that bot lane means that we're probably gonna be getting the Dragon toward Virtue Gaming. Meanwhile on the top side here, we have ult pop from both players. TA Luna having to stay under the tower, Wild Terry crashing the wave and trying to get the flashed Q in. TA Luna using a Hallowed Mist, trying to move back and have to back behind that second tower right there. But this is going to be the first neutral objective going over to Virtue Gaming. They have to be happy about those picks in the bot lane.
Oh hell yes, they do indeed love themselves. They got basically 0 for 3, got a double kill on the side of the of the Lilia. Also got themselves a little bit something for the Jinx. I don't know if Beastax was level 6 before that fight broke out. I think he was. Okay, yeah, he definitely was. I just checked. Ult is on cooldown. And, well, despite the CC you were talking about, it didn't fit the way the team comp was. As I said before, the side of TA want themselves to be a little bit more of a pick comp. They want to just find people who run around on Vision and just make sure. Oh, speaking of, shenanigans are
Hex
going
Flash
on.
over the wall. There goes a Hex Flash right back. Itchy Rat going to engage here onto Awesome Sheep under tower. That amount of CC is going to mean that he's not able to get away. The Ignite leading to a kill on both sides. B9 Slacks going to kill Arch, but now look at this. A double kill going over to the Nautilus right there. And meanwhile, we have Rel and Ari basically trying to walk out of there. Quality player pushing deep up in that mid lane. Meanwhile, on the top side of the map, we have Zohair accompanying a Wild Terry to continue to pressure down that very bullied Gwen.
Okay, I'm not quite sure if things are starting up, but apparently the Rift Herald is not getting started up just yet. But what I wanted to point out in this little, well, I wouldn't even call it like a fight. Let's just call it a dirty little fighting. This was exactly what I was mentioning before when I said, okay, the side of TA is more of, meanwhile,
yet another fight occurring down here. Asleep going to be going down. Samir trying to get as far away from that as possible. Going to engage right back in. Itchy Rat going to go down, but now it's a 2v1, unfortunately. Even with the ult pop, Zohair is going to get on a killing spree right there with the help of Quality player. Awesome Sheep going down. That's going to be 3 dead on the side of Team Ambition Exodia. And this is going to allow for more pressure and perhaps a shift towards that Rift Herald for Virtue Gaming Unity, trying to stack those neutral objectives and repeat the kind of advantages they got in that last game.
What's your feelings? You ever sense deja vu? Because we are having a 2-0 in 1 Corki again. And I'm saying again because, well, we saw what he was able to do last game. Anyhow, before we going back to the team, not even team fight, it was like a very scrappy skirmish. Why are fights so scrappy suddenly? This is okay. Let's go back 2 fights ago where Slacks was hex flashing over the wall and the Nautilus got a double kill. This is what I meant when they were like building more of a pick comp. Slacks got himself a pick on the Nautilus until Nautilus like got tower assistance, but this is not the point at the moment. And he was able to like Black Slacks was able to lock down the Nautilus and allow Samira to get some damage in. And Gragas being there as well with, well, his E. Hold that thought, by the way. Buddha.
Yeah, Quality player gonna get kegged right into the waiting arms of TA Light, as well as Buddha gonna have to walk behind this tower here. Will they have enough damage? That body slam coming through and Light gonna finish off that kill right there. Now with the rotation from the rest of Team Ambition, that's going to be a clear 1-for-0 on the side of TA.
And another example, what I meant before when it comes to pick comp, Gragas with his body slam, his ultimate, his Q, slow, everything in terms of CC he just brings to the table is just amazing for catching out unsuspecting enemies off the side of TA. On the other side, the side of VGU is just better when it comes to skirmishes and just scrappy fights. They really don't mind just taking unfavorable fights, even when partially picked out. And speaking of being pitched out, here we go again. Itchy Rat
getting charmed right there, and B9 Slacks in the area is going to continue to lock him down. The ultimate having to be popped right there, and that's also going to grab Zohair and a big shutdown going over. That's a lot of kills, 3 in a row, all in favor of Team Ambition. Even though we do see the Rift Herald coming down for the side of Virtue Gaming Unity, those are a lot of picks that you just don't want to have happen. That's a lot of lost vision and a lot of lost priority as we move into these crucial 30 seconds before the next dragon fight.
And just I love when I'm right. It just makes me happy knowing, okay, I actually I'm actually holding up with what I'm saying, because sometimes I'm just sitting here saying something like, am I really wrong? And then I'm just seeing Black's Light Buddha just collapsing on one poor soul being, well, itchy, and just immediately cleaning house. I'm just sitting here like, yeah, this is bad for VGU. but at least I'm right.
Yeah, there's definitely still a gold lead in favor of Virtue Gaming, no doubt about it. The fact that they got that first drag and the Rift Herald, as well as high priority in plates in that top lane, means that they're going to have a money advantage. Corki with this package now, and it looks like even with those kills, Virtue Gaming still feels rather empowered to drop this Herald mid and then look to get this second dragon.
Yeah, TA doesn't want to take this fight easily as pie. First things first, Rift Herald charging down mid lane. Second thing second, a Corki with a package. I mean, Drake is already down, so things are as they are. And as I said before, they are not that strong as a team fighting comp. We saw them picking out like enemies and be like, okay, they have an advantage. And still, VGU just were like, no, you don't have an advantage, and just turned the entire fight around. So
I don't mean to butt in here, but did we just see Corki accidentally use his package there in the mid lane, moving towards the top? I saw a few question mark pings come out there, but yeah, it looks like Corki accidentally used his package. Quality player losing a little bit of advantage and a little bit of tempo there for some reason.
Yeah, but I don't think that's that much of a problem. No objective is up, and before it just, well, disappears for no reason. Speaking of disappearing for no reason, Luna is getting tired of.
Yeah, there we go. The riposte coming out, but Wild Terry taking a lot of damage here, and that's really bad. TA Luna able to finally fight back against the bully that we saw consistently playing out in the top lane now. Luna able to finally start getting online here. Still not sitting on a full item and deciding to go for armor orbs first, and now here we get a crash down coming through. Corki hiding under the tower. Quality player able to trade a lot of damage back onto B9 Slacks here. Look at how much comes out there, and unfortunately, B9 Slacks unable to waddle away in that crash down state, meaning that Rel is just way too slow to move out from the charging Lilia.
I was just wondering, whilst everybody was just beating this poor girl to death, I was wondering who would be slower when it comes to like movement speed, Kled being dismounted or dismounted Rel. Like, I don't even know who would be slower. It's just a random thought that came up into my mind while we were just waiting for the next big objective spawning, which is going to be actually Baron in 2.5 minutes. So far, people are just hovering around, making sure everybody gets fed, making sure tower falls, and everybody just showing how to live life as a farmer.
Yeah, definitely we're seeing a favoring towards agriculture in these next few minutes. People just farming it up in these lanes. A Wild Terry, though, still trying to use his bully status there with TA Buddha. No TA Luna's in the area, but maybe he bit off a bit more than he could chew. That smite coming down, going to slow him in a body slam, going to be enough to kind of scare him out of that area as he moves back to the lane. Meanwhile, we have a little bit of a contestation over vision here between Itchy Rat and B9 Slacks. Arch also in the area now, trying to secure vision as we move into about 2.5 minutes before that next Drake spawn.
I actually think Buddha wanted. To force out Terry's parry. If he would have used his parry, it actually might have initiated a fight. Because, well, if you don't have an ability to like block CC, not much is going to happen to save you. And so far, as said, everybody loving themselves, some good farming. How are you actually doing in farming? I've never asked. Like, what is your top or role? Are you like a top main? Are you supporting?
Oh, I'm a support main, so my farming is absolutely atrocious, which it probably should be given the fact that if I'm averaging more than like 1 CS a game, I'm getting flamed by my ADC. But I think what's interesting is talking about farming, we are seeing pretty even CS in the mid lane, but otherwise we definitely have an advantage on the side of Virtue Gaming Unity. Looking at the Fiora, looking at the Jinx, we are getting at least a few hundred gold leads just right there. Plus the fact that towers are going down in favor of Virtue Gaming, this means that there is about a 5k gold lead for that team, which means that they have the items, they have the ability to continue to contest whatever objective comes out next. TA Light trying to catch out a Wild Terry here, getting that full Everfrost combo with the charm coming out here, but even though a Wild Terry goes on to about half health, the amount that they're able to gain back with that Gorge Ring, and the fact they're just so tanky means that burst just won't be enough.
Oh, definitely. Meanwhile, Zor here, just trying to be a little bit of a sneaky deer. And I have a feeling Slacks want himself to get himself some very, very nice deer meat for lunch, dinner. What's the time again? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like 10 p.m., I think.
Yeah, you can eat whenever you want, especially when there's venison on the plate, right? I think that right now what we're going to be seeing is just mostly people moving towards resetting and making sure that they're fully farmed up and fully built out for this upcoming dragon fight in about 30 seconds. I don't think anyone's going to be going for Baron quite yet, but if we do see some disastrous blowout for either side where we see an ace, we may be seeing it immediately people taking dragon and moving on to the Baron. Meanwhile, Wild Terry going to continue to split on this top side of the map, meaning that at most we're probably going to be seeing a 4v4 in that bot lane. TA Luna probably content to stay up here and continue to defend that topside tower from further pushing.
Oh, shenanigans are happening. Okay. Ari TPing into the mid lane. Oh, got herself a Shadow Flame. A very huge power spike for Ari. And they definitely want to take that fight. As I said before, I'm not quite sure if TA want to take this fight, but they are literally, everybody wants to take this fight. This is going to be a 5v5 brawl. They know this is going to be Drake's soul point, but they also know there's a very, very juicy bounty on top of this Drake. So
yeah, that is a big E coming out, and Zohair going to immediately ignite that R, and look at that Corky package coming in. That's the huge wombo combo that we were talking about. That's a lot of people dead on the side of Team Ambition, and it looks like we're going to be getting our first ace of the game, this time going through for Virtue Gaming Unity, only with Zohair going down.
Well, I would say hashtag worth and hashtag the caster has a point. That was an amazing flank from the side of Corky, and he immediately just went back to base like, you know what, hey, I saw this ward you have like there on the bot side. That's a very, very juicy deep ward. We can make use of this, and they are going to make definitely use of this. His Baron is smelting very, very fast. Zohair is still down, but so is Buddha. So it doesn't actually really matter. I think they know, the side of TA knows that VGU is on this Baron. But what are they going to do? They're not able to contest it. They have no vision. They have nothing. It could just be a death blow. And Red is dead!
Yeah, we do get an execute on Itchy Rat, meaning that the Nautilus will not be able to feast in the glory of having that minion buff. But given the fact that he's mostly just been playing attached to the hip with Arch, means that you're still going to be getting a lot of pressure on all of these lanes going forward. And Virtue Gaming Unity is going to try to continue to push this advantage, which is now widened to about a 10k gold lead.
I love how you just said that Ichirat is just like connected to Arch, because now imagine like a pocket Nautilus. Like, I don't know how familiar you are with the lore of League of Legends, but to keep it simple, Nautilus is a thick boy. Like,
he's a thick boy. He's bigger than a ship.
Oh yeah, I mean, there is a running meme where he has, I think he is even at fault for taking down the ship of Gangplank. And if we take like a look at all champions we have currently on the Rift, I think he is like double as tall as any other champions on this Rift. Terry is going very deep, very aggressive. I have the feeling he's going to pay with his life for this, because he also used his parry. So the Pickcon trying their best, but so far not getting a lot out of it. The pressure definitely is on the side of TA, and they are caught between a rock and a hard place. But they're going to catch out Rat. Nope,
yeah, an attempted body slam from Buddha. Itchy Rat going to be able to walk back, and there you go. Bunch of Glacial Augment procs. TA Light already at half health alongside with B9 Slacks. And unfortunately, Arch is just going to take them both down. Is Austin Sleep going to take down the support here? But now with Lilia in the area, you just have a lot of damage to contend with. And a Wild Terry's also moving in. TA Luna barely going to act as a front line here. Going to be mowed through. A triple kill going through for Arch, and a killing spree and a quadra kill, meaning that this may just be the end of the game in favor of Virtue Gaming Unity.
Actually, I have to say, you want to have this last fight like summarized in one sentence, because if we go like this, I think Slacks or Buddha, one of those two, got stuck on the traps of Jinx and were not able to fully engage. Like, they literally got stuck and just had no other option just to sit there and be like, yeah, this is my life now. So, actually, I very enjoyed this second game. VGU, after getting memed by themselves and their top laner, they were like, okay, Terry, you are going back on real champions. You're playing top lane like you meant to do it. Terry was like, you know what? I can do this. And actually really performed himself, except for maybe one or two hiccups he did over the course of this and the last game. But it's actually very nice to see that even if you are like on the top of the ladder, like Diamond Masters, if you're in a game and you're like, you know what, I think I'm a strong boy, you're just going to chase down the enemy. If it means that you're dying in the process, you can always just hashtag slash all hashtag worth it. But
Yeah,
with
most
this,
definitely.
But with this, we are sadly already done, which makes me very sad because I would actually have loved the best of 5 out of this. But congratulations to VGU. A very solid performance by both teams. Sadly, well, one of them has to go, in this case, T Ambition. So the household name of Virtua Gaming is staying united, and they are going to continue their run like that. There was a word for it. I swear. I still say
they're continuing their reign over the Aegis Defenders League. For those of you who are just joining us, apologies, but you missed a fantastic 3-game set between Virtua Gaming Unity and Team Ambition Exodia. I think we're going to be moving out here in just a few seconds to close out. I'm Nyarko.
But I'm Amp, and we are getting like a little bit from production. So for the people who have already like ended the stream for themselves, close the tab, I'm very sorry to say, but we might actually get one of the players into for an interview, which I would very much hope so. So let's hope production is giving us like a yes, a no, a possibility. But meanwhile, we can actually take a look when it comes to damage. Damage dealt to champion. I love how people always like, you only did your job as a player in this game when you did damage to champions. Well, I actually want to focus on objective damage. Well, yes, Lilia, as the jungler, did the most objective damage. A close second behind this by like 1,000, not even close, 950 damage, 942 to be completely exact, was from the Jinx. I mean, okay, it was tower damage, most of it, but that doesn't make it less impressive. It's amazing to look how other people are just able to push their advantage and use it to this as well. And we are actually getting the person we are talking about, Arch. Welcome to the stream. Congratulations on your victory.
Thank you.
So, how have you been feeling? How was the evening after this first game? Can you maybe elaborate a bit?
The first game was a little rough. Like maybe where I was queuing the ghosts, but you know, we came back game 2. Like the Zeri pick, which always feels like really good. We had Corky, who's huge, and then we got it again game 3, so it felt like a wrap.
Yeah, quality really pulling his weight. I would like to ask, was the pick with Janna top, was this like an ad hoc decision, or were you like, okay, we're going to try this, and if it works, we're going to further use it? Would you mind or allow us, as far as you are able to, tell us a bit about the pick? Because me personally, it is interesting.
Yeah, so like the Smite Enchantress top, it's like been like kind of flavor of the month recently. We practiced it a bit, and better in the practice, I'll say it like that. I think we just didn't play very well around it and stuff like that, which made it really hard. But after that, we just kind of decided to play standard for the other 2 games.
Yeah, you were able to like get an early advantage, but it sadly didn't. Janna fell off a little too much. Do you like enjoy personally as an ADC seeing such shenanigans? How are your feelings on this? Are you happy that it's getting nerfed, or are you like, yeah, I would like it having a little bit longer?
Happy it's getting nerfed, man. Like when I'm facing Janna, she's just laning 3v2 and I can't play. It's not very fun.
It's not very fun. So you're fine with how things are developing.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
So, is there anything like you want to tell us about, like from your other team members? Who of you was like? Are you like a fan of having your small, big, chunky, but still small support rat with you, or are you like, okay, I would have loved something else? Like, how did you like those games after the first one? I mean, you won, but there's probably still something you want to improve, right?
Yeah, for sure. For like game 2 and stuff, like we thought they would be a lot more aggressive because they had like Tarek and Samira, but they're really passive, which was like really nice for me because that means I get like free lane and I'm just better than Zeri later. So that was like good, and it was pretty similar game 3. I kind of trolled one spot where I had the flash, but didn't really punish it, so that was like fortunate for us. But overall, it was better than game 1. I'll say that it was better than game 1.
Good. Right. Are there any final things you want to say to people still being in Twitch chat, or maybe also like some words of encouragement for your opponents? Or are you just happy things are over and you're ready to go to bed?
I'm happy things are over so I can play Lost Ark.
We appreciate the hustle. Thank you very much for coming in and giving us a few words. Congratulations on your victory, and we are hoping for more very exciting games soon.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And to everybody else, thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Let's AMP. I have had the honor of being your color caster for tonight. With me, we had Nyarko-san. Thank you also for, let's just say, not keeping up, dealing with me, more or less. And also shout out to production for allowing me to be here. We wish everybody a very good night. Are there any final things you want to say, Nyako?
Not much in general. Thank you so much for tuning into this stream. The Aegis Defenders League has been really fantastic to just watch and broadcast for the past few weeks, and I'd like to continue to be part of this movement. Virtue Gaming has had some fantastic plays and fantastic games throughout this entire split, and I can't wait to continue to see what happens next.
Ben, thank you very much, and we will see you again next time when the Aegis Defender Cup is going into its next round. Thank you for tuning in, and until next time.